FM, South Africa's news and information leader.
Your top story is that one, religious leaders to demand an apology from government over the Dalai Lama saga, and the sky's the limit for aspiring scientists. Good afternoon. The Western Cape Religious Leaders Forum says it will seek an apology from the South African government for the embarrassment that Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, and Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu have had to go through. This comes after the Dalai Lama cancelled his trip to South Africa following a delay in processing his visa application. Chairperson of the Western Cape Religious Forum, Pastor John Oliver.
In response, we will be doing two things. We will be, one, following up the process to try and uncover exactly why the visa was delayed until it was too late. And we'll also be asking the government of our country to issue an apology both to Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu and to His Holiness the Dalai Lama for the way that this whole saga has been, the way they've been treated. So we are sad, but we are hopefully looking forward to another visit of the Dalai Lama under the campaign, which I think is now being launched, called Wish You Were Here.
The Dalai Lama's spokesperson, Denzin Takla, says the spiritual leader is disappointed as he was looking forward to his trip to South Africa.
His Holiness is disappointed because there were so many people who were looking forward, and the organizers of the visit, and there were a number of events that were planned, including His Holiness delivering the inaugural lecture for the Desmond Tutu, and also attending the birth anniversary celebrations of Desmond Tutu. But unfortunately, this was not possible, so His Holiness feels disappointed that many people worked towards this, and the visit did not occur.
Meanwhile, political analyst Somadoda Fikeni has described the developments around the Dalai Lama visa debacle as an embarrassment for the South African government. Mercedes Vicent reports.
Professor Fikeni says the Dalai Lama's cancellation of his trip due to the delay of processing the visa might have created unintended consequences. He says this will embarrass government in many ways. Meanwhile, the Western Cape Religious Forum says the campaign to exert pressure on government to allow the Dalai Lama to come to South Africa will continue under the theme, Wish You Were Here. Mercedes Basent, SABC News, Parliament.
The National Union of Mine Workers has blamed employers for the increase in mining, construction and energy industry deaths. Over 100 people have died this year alone in mine-related accidents. The union accuses big business of prioritizing profits and compromising on workers' safety. Thousands of workers have taken to the streets of Johannesburg's buzzing city centre in protest. They're heading toward the Chamber of Mines and the Labour Department. Labour journalist Teto Mashlakwane reports.
857. That's the number of men and women who have died in the mining, energy and construction industries this year. Other workers and union leaders are calling on government and employers to put a stop to this trend. A march by thousands of workers wearing red t-shirts written, "We demand to live," hope not only to raise awareness, but to save their own lives. They say each day on the job is a risk, as they too could easily die while on duty. Tezo Matlakwana, SABC News in Johannesburg.
Police Minister Nathi Mthethwa has called on public order police officers to beef up their negotiating skills and use them to quell protests. The minister was speaking at a conference looking at challenges around public order policing. There's been criticism levelled at police over their use of brutal force during protests. A key example is the protest involving Andries Tutane, who was killed during a confrontation with police at Vicksburg in the Free State. Residents were unhappy over the lack of service delivery in the area. Mthethwa says they're working on improving the negotiating skills of police commanders.
Because our philosophy is community policing philosophy in South Africa, we have at all material times to forge understanding between those who are policing and those who are policed. Because those who are policed must be able to give in being policed. Otherwise, if there is no such a thing, there wouldn't be any policing. There would be crisis all the time.
And to end, Science and Technology Minister Naledi Pandor believes the sky's the limit for young aspiring scientists in South Africa. She's been speaking at the 62nd International Astronautical Congress in Cape Town. The Congress brings together some of the best space scientists in the world. Pandor says they hope to educate youngsters about the benefits of a career in the field of science and technology.
We have a number of young scientists attending the conference. There's a workshop for young space scientists, and we're working with school children. They also will form part of a small group of delegates to the conference. What's thrilling is that it's not just opportunities in space science, it's in engineering as well. It's technicians, it's ICT competent. So there are many, many career opportunities.
A recap of your top story this hour. The Western Cape Religious Leaders Forum says it will seek an apology from the South African government. This after the Dalai Lama cancelled his trip to South Africa following a delay in processing his visa application.